Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradha Hari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradha Hari Yashoda Nandana Virjana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Virjana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanata Harin Yamuna Tira Vanata Harin Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradha Hari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradha Hari Yashoda Nandana Brajana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Brajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanata Harim Yamuna Tira Vanata Harin Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradha Hari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradha Hari Yashoda Nandana Brajana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Brajana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Brajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanata Harim Yamuna Tira Vanata Harim yamunatiravanachari jaya radha madhava kunja bihari 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 jaya radha madhava radha madhava radhe jaya radha kunja bihari radha kunja bihari radhe jaya radha rasbihari radha rasbihari radhe jaya radha madan mohan radha madan mohan radhe jaya radha govinda radha govinda radhe jaya radha gopinata radha gopinata radhe jaya radha damodara radha damodara radhe jaya radha ramana radha ramana radhe jaya radha giridhari radha giridhari radhe jaya radha sham sundar radha sham sundar radhe jaya radha sham radhe sham radhe sham jaya radhe sham jaya Kṛṣṇa balaram Kṛṣṇa balaram Kṛṣṇa balaram jaya Kṛṣṇa balaram jaya Gauranitai 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 jaya Gauranitai Nitai Gaura Haribol 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 Nitai Gaura Haribol Nitai Gaura Haribol 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 Nitai Gaura Haribol Jai Vishwapad Paramahamsa Parivara Jagataya Shota Shata Shishimachila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Vishwapad Paramahamsa Parivara Jagataya Shota Shata Shishimachila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada ki, Ananta Kodi Vaishnava Vrinda ki, Jai Sri Rup Sri Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Sri Jeev Gopala Bhatta Rasa Raghunath Sadi Goswami Prabhu ki, Prem Se Kosi Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivajari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki, Sri Radha Krishna Go Gopal Gopi Gopinath Cham Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhana ki Jai, वृंदावन धाम की जाए, मथुरा धाम की जाए, मायापुर धाम की जाए, जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जाए, तुलसी महारानी भक्ति देवी की, गंगा यमुना देवी की, हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की, श्री श्री गौनिताय की, श्री श्री कृष्ण बलराम की, श्री श्री राधा श्याम सुंदर की, गो प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल, समवेत भक्त वृंद की, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. We are reading from the Bhagavad Gita as it is, 4th chapter, text number 4. Arjuna uvāca aparam bhavato janma param janma vivasvataḥ katham etad vijānīyāṁ tvam ādau proktavān Arjuna uvāca aparam bhavato janma param janma vivasvataḥ katham etad vijānīyāṁ tvam ādau proktavān Arjuna uvāca aparam bhavato janma param janma vivasvataḥ katham etad vijānīyāṁ tvam ādau proktavān
aparam bhavato janma param janma vivasvataḥ katham etad vijānīyāṁ ādau proktavān Arjuna
uvāca
aparam bhavato janma
param janma vivasvataḥ katham etad vijānīyāṁ tvam ādau proktavān Arjuna uvāca. Arjuna said, aparam, junior, bhavata, your, janma, birth, param, superior, janma, birth, vivasvataḥ, of the sun god, katham, how, etat, this, vijānīyāṁ, shall I understand, tvam, you, ādau, in the beginning, proktavān, instructed, iti, thus. Translation and a purport by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Translation. Arjuna said, the son god Vivasvān is senior by birth to you. How am I to understand that in the beginning you instructed this science to him? Purport. Arjuna is an accepted devotee of the Lord, so how could he not believe Krishna's words? The fact is that Arjuna is not inquiring for himself, but for those who do not believe in the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or for the demons who do not like the idea that Krishna should be accepted as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For them only, Arjuna inquires on this point, as if he were himself not aware of the Personality of Godhead or Krishna. As will be evident from the 10th chapter, Arjuna knew perfectly well that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the fountainhead of everything and the last word in transcendence. Of course, Krishna also appeared as the son of Devaki on this earth. How Krishna remained the same Supreme Personality of Godhead, the eternal original person, is very difficult for an ordinary man to understand. Therefore, to clarify this point, Arjuna put this question before Krishna so that he himself could speak authoritatively. That Krishna is the supreme authority is accepted by the whole world, not only at present but from time immemorial, and the demons alone reject him. Anyway, since Krishna is the authority accepted by all, Arjuna put this question before him in order that Krishna would describe himself without being depicted by the demons, who always try to distort him in a way understandable to the demons and their followers. It is necessary that everyone, for his own interest, know the signs of Krishna. Therefore, when Krishna himself speaks about himself, it is auspicious for all the world. To the demons, such explanations by Krishna himself may appear to be strange, because the demons always study Krishna from their own standpoint. But those who are devotees heartily welcome the statements of Krishna when they are spoken by Krishna himself. The devotees will always worship such authoritative statements of Krishna because they are always eager to know more and more about him. The atheists who consider Krishna an ordinary man may in this way come to know that Krishna is superhuman, that he is sac-cid-ānanda-vigraha, the eternal form of bliss and knowledge. That is transcendental, and that he is above the domination of the modes of material nature and above the influence of time and space. A devotee of Krishna like Arjuna is undoubtedly above any misunderstanding of the transcendental position of Krishna. Arjuna's putting this question before the Lord is simply an attempt by the devotee to defy the atheistic attitude of persons who consider Krishna to be an ordinary human being subject to the modes of material nature. Amajnana-timirandasya jnananjana-salakaya chakasodhanamritam yanam tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya-manobhistam sthapitam yena bhutale sayam rupagadhamayam dadati sapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yadavadagavalan Se Guran Vaishnavamscha Sirupam sagrajatam sahagana raganatan vitam tam sajivam Sadvaitam savadutam parijana saitam Krishna chaitanya devam Sri Radha Krishna padan Sahagana lalita Sri Vishakan vitamscha He Krishna karuna sindho dinabandho jagatpade gopesha govika kanta radha kanta namastude Tatta ganjana gaurangi radhe vrindavaneshare Brijabhano sude devi pranamami hari priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha Paritanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Arjuna uvāca aparaṁ bhavato janma janma vivasvataḥ katham etad vijānīyāṁ tam ādau proktavān iti. Arjuna said, the sun god Vivasvān is senior by birth to you. How am I to understand that in the beginning you instructed this science to him? So Arjuna, as Purport is also mentioning in the Purport, is a great devotee of the Lord, is an associate of the Lord. So therefore the question he's asking here is for the common man to understand. And actually the whole Bhagavad Gita is spoken for the common man, so they may understand their spiritual identity as spirit soul being completely apart from the gross and subtle body. So by Krishna's arrangement, so Arjuna is chosen to receive this knowledge for the benefit of the whole world. So Kṛṣṇa is the source of everything, of all the spiritual and material worlds, of all the personalities of Godhead. By Krishna's will, the material world is manifested. And then the Nityabhada, those who are since time moral conditioned, they come in this world. And if by good fortune they meet a devotee of the Lord, or the Lord Himself, then they may be blessed to make advancement in spiritual life. Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagavana Jiva Guru Krishna Prasadipai Bhakti Latabecha. So the living entity is wandering in the cycle of birth and death. Sometimes in a higher planet, sometimes in this planet, sometimes in lower planets, sometimes in hell. But those who are fortunate, by Krishna's mercy, they are able to meet the pure devotee of the Lord. And by the mercy of the pure devotee, the conditioned soul, he can get transcendental knowledge. He can understand that is not his body, that is spirit soul. And that he belongs to the spiritual realm actually. That he has a loving relationship with Kṛṣṇa, the Supreme Lord. So for that purpose, so Kṛṣṇa spoke first actually also to Lord Brahma. and then later also to Vivasvān. And Kṛṣṇa also spoke to other great personality. Lord Shiva, there's the Rudra Sampradaya. And he also spoke to Narada Muni. He also spoke to Uddhav, as explained in 11th canto. Uddhav, he understood that Krishna is about to leave this world. So he approached him quickly. And first lamenting also, what will I do when you leave this world? I'll be devastated. And Krishna told him, don't worry. You have so much knowledge and you know what to do and what not to do. And I will give you some more knowledge. And then he was giving more transcendental knowledge also to Uddhav. And Uddhav was also asking questions and he was answering. So here, as Arjuna is saying, asking, because Arjuna now is saying Krishna before himself. And he knows that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. But then by transcendental bewilderment, so he's not completely aware of what is happening now. And so, therefore he's asking Krishna, he's surrendering to Krishna, accepting Krishna as a supreme teacher and in himself as a disciple. And then asking questions and Krishna is answering. So, Arjuna is understanding, but at the same time, here is asking this question, and as explained by Purport, for the benefit of the conditioned soul. So you're here before me and you're giving some instructions, but Vivasvān lived long before me, before you. So how you're saying that you instructed Vivasvān, the science? And Krishna, of course, that will be tomorrow's verse, is answering him and explaining to him that although, because he had already spoken about the soul and that the soul is eternal, and now he is giving further knowledge, because from one point of view, Krishna and Arjuna, they're together in human form of life. So it seems to be there's no difference here. But then Arjuna is explaining to him that both of us, we have taken birth so many times. But you cannot remember, whereas I can remember. So Krishna, that is the difference. Krishna is the Supreme Lord. Krishna knows what happened in the past, Krishna knows what's happening here, Krishna knows what will happen in the future. He's the all-knowing Supreme Lord. Whereas Arjuna is his part and parcel. Eternal associate of Krishna, eternal servant of Krishna. So Krishna is Vibhu, Krishna is great, and the Jiva, Arjuna, we are small, minor part and parcels of Krishna, infinitesimal, and Krishna is unlimited. So Krishna can understand everything, what happened previously, now and in the future, but the servant of Krishna, or the soul, conditioned soul, he will not know what happened last life. Only exceptional personalities, pure devotees, they may know what happened in the past, what's happening now, what will happen in the future, in regards to his life, in regards to the Lord's pastimes, in regards to the great devotees' lives. So Kṛṣṇa knows everything. But the ordinary jiva, he does not know everything. He only knows what happened in this life. Of course, the pure devotees, they are also known as Trikalagya. They know past, present and future. But still is a difference also. The Kṛṣṇa, he knows everything. He has unlimited knowledge, whereas the pure devotee has pure love for Kṛṣṇa. Therefore, what is needed personally for the pure devotee, so by Kṛṣṇa's mercy, he will know what happened in the past, what's happening now, and what will happen in the future. Because he's guided by Kṛṣṇa. Not only that, usually has experience, the great devotees, and then they will understand things as they are, because they are transcendently situated beyond the modes of material nature. But they will not know everything. And something they may know, but not everything. In regards to their life or in regards to this material world or the spiritual world, they have some knowledge. So Kṛṣṇa, he knows everything, and therefore he had told Arjuna that first I spoke this knowledge to Vivasvān. And now Kṛṣṇa is speaking to Arjuna. And so Arjuna, as a devotee of the Lord, he is knowledgeable, but Arjuna also is not always exactly sure what to do and what not to do. That is the position of the part and parcel of Kṛṣṇa. Even though he may be a devotee, sometimes it is not clear what Kṛṣṇa wants me to do, what I should do. And therefore he will pray to Kṛṣṇa, please guide me, so I may properly understand what to do and what not to do. And the pure devotees, every day he is praying to Guru Garanga Kṛṣṇa for guidance, for help, because he's realized and he knows his insignificant nature. And he knows that he needs the mercy of the Supreme Lord. So therefore he's praying, and he understands material energy, external energy, although he's protected by Kṛṣṇa, but still he's feeling the material energy. And therefore, although he's basically fearless and he has full faith in Kṛṣṇa, but at the same time, in this world the difficulties are there, and the external energy there, and he can feel, and therefore he's praying to Kṛṣṇa to protect him, to help him. Although he knows that Kṛṣṇa will help, but still is feeling the modes of material nature, and therefore he'll pray. And then naturally Kṛṣṇa will protect. So, by the will of the Lord, the Bhagavad Gita has manifested with the help of Arjuna, and Kṛṣṇa in a very systematic way is giving this knowledge. First of all, the existence of the soul, and then that he's the Supreme Self, and then the living entities are his part and parcels. He's hinting or speaking about the spiritual realm. But then also in regards to this material world, he's explaining. And so he's explaining about how one can advance in spiritual life. That is the whole purpose. So that of the Bhagavad Gita. So we get this sambandha gyan, the knowledge in regards to our relationship with Kṛṣṇa. But then also Arjuna is giving abhideya gyan, explaining the process of devotional service. And the different processes also, and is explaining pure devotional service. And then also mixed devotional service. So knowledge is very much required. Always in this world, especially in this world. In the spiritual world, the natural relationship is there, and the loving exchange based on love, pure love. And there they are not even aware that Kṛṣṇa is the Supreme Lord, but Kṛṣṇa is our friend, is our beloved, is our son. And Kṛṣṇa is relishing that relationship. But still knowledge is there, even in the spiritual world. Even the gopis saw, although cowherd girls, they are cowherd girls, and Kṛṣṇa's friends are gopas. And prominent is the loving exchange, but they also have so much knowledge. So the gopas, so they take care of the cows and the calves, but in practical way also, they know how to serve Kṛṣṇa, what Kṛṣṇa's like, what Kṛṣṇa likes. And then especially the gopis also, they're very expert in, for example, dance, in music. They play many musical instruments. And so the different ragas are there, and they are very learned in this. And playing in music with different instruments. So very expert. And actually gopis, the most expert. Knowledgeable. And the most wonderful, loving sentiments are there, found in the gopis, to the highest degree. For Kṛṣṇa's pleasure, only thinking about Kṛṣṇa's pleasure, not about themselves. So that is the highest form of love. And so, but knowledge is there also in the spiritual world. For practical purposes, to serve Kṛṣṇa, to give pleasure to Kṛṣṇa. And in this material world, so knowledge is also required in order to make advancement in spiritual life. So for that purpose we have to approach the representative of the Lord, the spiritual master, or the Lord directly. Like Kṛṣṇa is directly approaching, so Arjuna is directly approaching Kṛṣṇa. Or the devotees of Mahaprabhu, directly approaching Mahaprabhu. And Kṛṣṇa ultimately is the Kṛṣṇa Vande Jagat Gurum. He is the Jagat Guru, Adi Guru. The original spiritual master giving knowledge. And then Mahaprabhu is no different from Kṛṣṇa. From Radha and Kṛṣṇa, he also gives knowledge to his associates and telling them to write books for the benefit of the conditioned souls. Always the Supreme Lord Mahaprabhu, but is coming as a devotee also to teach by practical example, to give knowledge, so that the sadhaka, the practicing devotee, can nicely engage in devotional service. and know what to do and what not to do. So we really understand how we can advance more and more towards the highest realm of pure love. So knowledge is required so that we can nicely serve Krishna. And if we see the literatures of the Goswamis, especially the close associates of Mahaprabhu, Rupan, Sanatan and Raghunath Das Goswami, so they gave this transcendental knowledge, being inspired by Mahaprabhu and being directly also taught by Mahaprabhu. And therefore, so they were able to write these transcendental literatures, being ordered by Mahaprabhu, being empowered by Mahaprabhu. So therefore we have the opportunity to read his books and in this way make advancement in our spiritual life and come to the highest position. And then the more one becomes fixed on the transcendental platform and pure, the more one will have also knowledge. And the more everything is very clear. And then the devotee, he can also distribute this knowledge and he can help others so they may advance in Krishna consciousness. So here Prabhupada in this purport also is mentioning about the demons and the atheists who are inimical towards the Lord. They blaspheme the Lord, or they neglect the Supreme Lord. And therefore, Prabhupada is mentioning about these demons. And they may also read about Krishna, try to study Krishna, but the consciousness is not proper, they are not properly guided, and so therefore, Prabhupada is writing also, they may have their own standpoint, viewpoint, but it is incomplete. But the devotees of the Lord, they are hearing what Krishna has to say as in the Bhagavad Gita, they are hearing from the representative of Krishna, the spiritual master, and then they get the perfect knowledge as it is. So just like the Bhagavad Gita also, so many persons, they try to explain about the Bhagavad Gita. But those who are pure devotees of the Lord, like Prabhupada and the acharyas in our sampradaya, so they perfectly understand the Bhagavad Gita and then they are able to give this knowledge to others. And then one is benefited. But other persons, atheistic persons, impersonalists, materialistic persons, so because they have not heard from the right source, and they don't have the proper understanding, so therefore they are not able to give proper knowledge to others also. So many persons have tried to give some explanation of the Bhagavad Gita, but that is of practically no use. Even myself, in my youth, I had a few Bhagavad Gitas from few persons. Materialistic persons, atheistic persons. And I was reading Bhagavad Gita, but it was not clear to me. who is Kṛṣṇa or what is he talking about. Something was there about the soul, but not clear, because the persons who were writing or giving the commentary, the translation and commentary, they were not devotees of the Lord. And then there's practically no use of that kind of Bhagavad Gita. So, but when a pure devotee is translating Bhagavad Gita or giving a commentary, then it is as Kṛṣṇa spoke. Therefore, Prabhupada also wrote Bhagavad Gita as it is. And then one can have the proper understanding, and then one can immediately understand the Bhagavad Gita, and one can advance in spiritual life. So when I read Bhagavad Gita as it is, so I had a clear understanding, and I knew that is the path I have to take. And then by reading the whole Bhagavad Gita, everything becomes clear. Especially because it is presented then by the pure devotee. The verses are there, and if a pure devotee is translating the verses from Sanskrit in Hindi or English, then already it is quite clear. Because whatever Krishna is speaking, that is perfect and complete and very clear. If one is submissive, if one is open-minded, then it is clear what Krishna is speaking. But to make it more clear and practical, so we can practically apply, then the pure devotee is giving a commentary. And then one can more easily practice and advance in spiritual life and fully understand what Krishna is saying. All it is clear what he's saying, but then practical application and then realization will come if we hear from the pure devotees of the Lord. So because if one is still on the modes of material nature, then one cannot properly understand. So this transcendental subject matter, what Krishna is explaining, it will be not so clear. But if we are in the association of those who are fixed, the representative of the Lord, and then is explaining, then it becomes more clear, and one can then advance in spiritual life. So first, Krishna is speaking Sambandha Gyan, explaining that we are not this body, we are spirit soul. Especially in the second chapter. And then one has to engage in devotional activities, perform some activity with the body and also with the consciousness, the mind. One has to be thoughtful how we may understand better, or we may advance. And then with the tongue also we glorify the Lord. So that is firmly established here also. Kṛṣṇa himself, so he's explaining his position, that is the Supreme Lord. In a humble way he is explaining. Krishna is most humble. And so he's humbly explaining his position. That is the Supreme Being. And if one is then taking shelter of him, then he will be able to advance rapidly and attain perfection ultimately, and enter the kingdom of God. Janma karma chame divyam evam yoveti tattvataḥ tyaktva diham puna janma naiti mamiti so Arjuna. So in this same chapter, in a few verses, Kṛṣṇa is explaining. And it is very clear. But there, so Kṛṣṇa is explaining that one has to fully understand veti tattvataḥ. So that veti tattvataḥ, Kṛṣṇa has explained a few times in the Bhagavad Gita, few verses. In this text number 9 here. So one who understands my appearance, my janma, my birth, my activities, which are transcendental beyond this material world, spiritual activities, free from the modes of material nature. So one who understands in truth, so he does not have to take birth again. So one has to properly understand Kṛṣṇa. For this we have to hear from Kṛṣṇa or from Kṛṣṇa's representatives. Then we can properly understand, then we can realize. So theoretical knowledge is not sufficient, but one has to realize that subject matter. Veti tattvataḥ. In truth one has to understand Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa's form, Kṛṣṇa's qualities, Kṛṣṇa's pastimes. Manushyanam sāshaishtu kashchid yati siddhi yadadam yadi. Kashchimam veti tattvataḥ, also in the 7th chapter. So many people, they try to understand. Thousands, but among thousands of men, only one may know me. And of those who know me, only one knows me in truth. So many people, they know about Kṛṣṇa now in the whole world, but especially in Bharatvarsha and India. But not everyone knows Kṛṣṇa well or surrender to Kṛṣṇa. They know, yeah, Kṛṣṇa is God, but then they are not serving Kṛṣṇa directly. But even those who are serving directly Kṛṣṇa, because it takes time to become perfect. So one may be serving Kṛṣṇa but still not understand Kṛṣṇa completely. Or anyone completely understands Kṛṣṇa here as he is? Veti tattvataḥ. Who can see Kṛṣṇa here? Anyone can see Kṛṣṇa as he is? Tribhang, Lalit Shyama Sundar is from 23 places. Of course we can see the photo, yes, we can see the deity in the temple. We may see but still not fully see. So, because if one is on the modes of material nature, so we may see the deity, we may see the picture. Material nature, one can still not see Kṛṣṇa as he is. But one has to come to the transcendental platform and then be properly engaged in devotional service. And then one can see Kṛṣṇa as he is, beyond this material world. His sac-cid-ānanda-vigraha is eternal, as Purport is explaining also, sac-cid-ānanda-vigraha. Kṛṣṇa is sac-cid-ānanda-vigraha. So by Kṛṣṇa's mercy we can realize, know Kṛṣṇa in truth. By bhakti. So that he has explained also in the 11th chapter, 18th chapter, veti tattvataḥ. If one knows Kṛṣṇa in truth, then one can understand the mysteries of Kṛṣṇa's wonderful form, qualities and pastimes. So that is ultimately the goal. But it will take some time to fully realize. But so we try our best and try to make as much advancement as possible. And Kṛṣṇa is also reciprocating, Kṛṣṇa is helping. Kṛṣṇa wants us to become perfect. But so it will take some time. And there's a causeless unwillingness to surrender fully. So by nature we are eternal servants of Kṛṣṇa, the relationship is there, but it is dormant. And because of modes of material nature, one may not be able to fully, immediately understand and realize. So, but we should try our best to surrender to Kṛṣṇa. And Kṛṣṇa is actually more eager than we are eager to surrender. So even though we may know we have to surrender to Kṛṣṇa, but sometimes, due to modes of material nature, there's a causeless unwillingness to fully surrender. We know, but still, the mind and the senses, they are attracted to material things instead of serving Kṛṣṇa. So then we have to pray to Guru Ganga and Kṛṣṇa that we may be able to overcome this causeless unwillingness to serve Kṛṣṇa completely and always. And we have to pray, and we have to beg, and we have to cry for the mercy. So, one has to be extremely sincere and serious and understand, but by my own endeavor I cannot even attain perfection, but I need the mercy of Hari Guru Vaishnava, the mercy of Hari, the Supreme Lord, Gaura Hari or Shama Hari, Mahaprabhu and Kṛṣṇa, or the associates of Kṛṣṇa Mahaprabhu. And then the manifestation of the mercy of Kṛṣṇa. Kṛṣṇa Kripa Sri Murti, the spiritual master, the embodiment of Kṛṣṇa's mercy. So if we approach the representative of the Lord, then we can also be blessed. And then we may advance more and more and attain perfection. And then everything becomes quite clear, much more clear. So, any question? Everything clear? Okay, wonderful. Hare Krishna. So there's some prasadam we can have. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki, Srila Prabhupada